Alright, welcome back to JorDan's Medieval Brawl Season 2, Event number 1, and we've got game number 1 here between two of our MYI players in Daniel here in the red trunks, as the Burgundians, that nice cavalry and ecotex for Sid, while Sitaux is clanmate and opponent today on the Mayans with their bonus resource conservation and their hefty archer tech. Also got stronger eagle warriors, so they'll be quite nicely kitted out to deal with cavalry despite not having any themselves. But bearing in mind, our Burgundian player does have access to Burgundian vineyards for late game gold gen out of the farms and Flemish Revolution, which functions a lot like Ragnarok from Age of Mythology, where all of his villagers suddenly become very hardy soldiers. So relics pretty evenly distributed here. So I like this. The golds. Well, Sitaux, I think, has got a fairly easy time trying to contest his golds. Daniel, I think it might be slightly more difficult. They seem to be a little bit more spaced out, and a little bit more further away from the trees that shelter him as such. But otherwise, a very mirrored spawn, aside from the golds, I think. It looks like Sitaux gonna start getting some some militia to begin with. They're not man-at-arms in this game until you get your first upgrade for them. AoE 4 players, please note. So I got a militia, an eagle scout, aggression here from Sitaux, but I think Daniel probably expecting it here. So he will scout it, but he's going to be a bit tentative with defending with a scout. Doesn't want to lose it just yet. Just going to rely on quick walling in everything for the moment. All that villagers sort of stuck, not getting any gathering done. Sitaux not wanting to engage with a single military unit because realistically 3 villagers can fight early game infantry. I mean, 1-to-1 it's a bit of a rough fight, and obviously if you've got the villagers outnumbered by military, you're sort of fucked, but as long as you've got the unit advantage, they basically function as a budget militia or budget spearmen. Barracks getting constructed here by Daniel. He's having to commit 2 villages to this though. Sitaux not wanting to commit to an attack there. I think he probably could have got the attack off and backed out, but decided no, I'll be really careful. So they're going to bring some villagers, so it looks like he's going to try and go for a forward tower here somewhere. Because if you can deny Daniel's early gold gathering, it'll be quite tough actually getting on some gold, because this one is quite a world away. And this front side gold, and this rear gold. Also not in the most ideal of positions for Daniel to try and defend. So I think he's going to be able to hold on to this. Plus if he gets pushed off this... Yeah, if he gets pushed off this wood line, by default he's going to get pushed off that gold line anyway. It becomes really easy to sort of try and then go for another tower here or here to try and camp this one. But in saying that, Daniel's going to have access to both archers and some infantry of his own, so he should ultimately be able to push through this, because Sitau's having to invest quite a bit by bringing a couple of villagers over here and place that early tower. I think he'll actually need to get some stone in order to go for another one if he's looking to chain tower in this position. This tower for now. Ooh, and that's a little rough, that Ibex not making it all the way there to the town center. All the villagers are picking him off, or sorry, doing their hunting. Daniel's decided to gather from it anyway. Figures the walk time's worth not having to invest in early farms. And considering Sitau's having to spend villager build time, travel time getting over here anyway, it's not so bad of an idea. Sitau's not really able to commit to sort of anything else with this and springboard into more towers just yet, or anything of that nature. In fact, it looks like he's just going to go to castle and try and beat this little push out here from Daniel. But that tower doesn't quite have the range to actually really zone off anything other than this gold mine and this wood line. So for now, I think Daniel's going to be pretty safe at home, other than the annoying continual spam about taking damage on this house. Sometimes it is fucking annoying, believe me. So Sitaux just encircling the base. It's a little rough, but Daniel's range to taking a little bit of extra damage there. Not a huge amount though. But the mixed range composition going to be able to force back Sitaux now. He didn't find an entrance. There's no easy opportunity that Daniel's giving him. And he's also walling his own base in. Had most of the map control and pressure himself, so it's really only now that he's had to worry too much about Daniel having a comp to push out and try and flank his base with. Oh, and the wolf deciding it wants a piece of the action here. And now it's actually going to be more of a pest for Daniel than it was for Sitaux. In fact, it's sort of costed him an archer there in the end, as he's had to move towards the army of Sitaux. So Wolves OP, and now Daniel, a couple of idlers here as well. He probably wanted these guys engaging the range here of Sitaux, and now they will. So this is more like the fight he wants to take, and now it's looking a little bit rough for Sitaux, who's really outnumbered on both sides, both types of ranged. So Sitaux now massing up a bit more of a force, or merely to try and jump on all this ranged. Daniel now behind in military count once again, but don't think he's been looking to produce as much because he's only got that one range, whereas his opponent's making units out of the range and the barracks, or was, so he's had to cut production. Looks like our players probably wanting to go to castle soon, because, you know, archers and early game infantry really aren't going to be able to punch into a base all that well, and you really want to get castle for castles and for multiple town centers so you can really start to boom. I wonder what the AoE 2 meta would look like if you could get town centers from age 2 on every civ, and then humans just got town centers from age 1, as well as, you know, kept the rams from age 2. If, you know, I really wonder what it would look like if it sort of played a bit like AoE 4 or like AoE 0. Because I think people would really be looking to play multiple TC and feudal if that were the case. I wonder if there's a mod out there that actually does that. Once you get TCs from Feudal and otherwise makes no other changes to the game. Because if there is, I'd be really interested to try it and make it the meta way to play. So Sitaux really able to find way into Daniel's base here. Just chip away at some of the villagers there on that wood line, but Daniel's finding he's largely in the same boat. So our players waiting on that castle age transition before they're really able to push into one another. I mean, the Burgundians player are going to have access to stables as well as siege. Well, with our Mines player, it's really only siege and improved infantry and ranged. But I mean, considering Aztecs and Mines have always been pretty reasonable civs, I don't think it's necessarily to the detriment that they don't have cav, or their unique techs tend to be some of the, like, on paper strongest of the original unique tech, well, the AOC unique techs in the game. So Daniel will be able to clear out this tower pretty easily here. Protect that gold mine, but I guess the thing is it's really cost him having to invest in this forward side tower, forward side castle, when he could potentially have, you know, be going on it somewhere else later on. But that is his primary gold mine, so it's probably the most resources to secure at once. Sitaux just getting a little bit of damage done, but it's gonna need to get these guys out of here. So dropping an Eagle Warrior for free there, basically. But he has map control. Daniel's had to invest in some second layers of walling. He's getting another town center, while Sitaux just the one town center for the moment. Gonna get some monks. Gonna be able to start getting these relics. And start topping up low units here. That tower now goes down. Actually, didn't have a lot of health, I don't think. I don't think he deleted it, so it's just fallen after the castle's chipped away at it. They really don't have that much health, do they? Castilia. Man, these guys are strong. They've got such a wicked shield.
Shot it.
Eagle Warriors. Quite a solid unit for Mines, designed to counter cavalry. They're upgraded from Eagle Scout, and late game with El Dorado, they end up super tanky to compete with the cavalry, so the civ that has none doesn't really feel all that gimped. So Sitaux a much larger army force, but Daniel's Castilia just about the same speed, if not slightly faster, so they can keep them busy, keep them at bay. A Mayan player having to go for some monks to try and convert and to keep top up healing his units. Castilia getting converted there. Daniel will be wanting to try and avoid. He's going to be trying to rely on his opponent getting an awful lot invested in castle while he can go for a boomier castle and take Imperial Age. We've now got a second TC here with Sitaux, so his army, his eco will be growing at about the same speed now. A third TC attempt here for Daniel. He'll be eager to try and block this, although it looks like he might have I was going to say, it looks like he might have actually shown his hand there to his opponent. I think he might have now. So this town center is going to be under a lot of threat. And Daniel doesn't really have a lot of army here to take the greatest of fights. Here we go, more Castilia coming in, so he might be able to do a bit better now. And it's a lot of the Eagle Warrior is actually tied up trying to take down the palisade instead of taking part of the fight. So here we go. Now they're engaging. So Sitaux ultimately having to back off because I think he had too many eagles actually focusing on structures there rather than trying to go for the fight. Daniel able to get that third town center finished. Sitaux still only on 2 himself, so the villager count going to slowly grow in favor of Daniel here, but Sitaux looks like he's still got map control. He's still snatching up peripheral relics. You know, going for one of Daniel's relics first. I really like this. If he can try and snatch this one, coming around the long way here, he can really restrict Daniel later on. Man, if NBL ever watched this game, he must have thrown up in his mouth with the amount of monks that are on the field here. Vululu, vululu. The Eagle Warrior's going to be able to guard. Monk with the relic. Not. Oh, actually. Oh, bit of a mistake here by Sitaux. These guys are going to chase the Castilia. Well, this one not boxed in by Eagle Warriors. Going to get sniped there. So, bit of a reprieve there for Daniel. And he is going to snatch his other close relic up. So, relic counts 2 to Sitaux. Soon to be 3, and soon to be... Actually, no, sorry, he hasn't grabbed the third one just yet. Soon to be 1 for Daniel as well. So Daniel up slightly on the villager pop at the moment. These guys almost about to take a nice engagement, but Daniel letting his opponent force things there, but now Daniel's going to try and take a fight that... Ooh, this could be good because he's going to pick off all the monks here. All these other Castilia backing out, so Sitaux, I thought this was originally going his way, but now he's lost a number of the monks, although he has converted a few Castilia. I think there might be just enough here for Daniel. This will go his way. Sitaux finding the amusement in trying to take on Castilia there. Because now all these guys, their shield going to top up. The monk's slowly going to heal them up as well. Oh, actually... I was going to say, can they not be healed? Can they only be healed through... Can only the shield be healed and their regular health not? But it looks like that's not the case. So now Sitaux had a bit of a military deficit to his opponent. He's also trailing on eco, considering Daniel is really boomed up off those 3 TCs. Sitaux looks to have only gone to the 2. And it is 3 relics to 1 at the moment. So Sitaux can find solace in that, and maybe even able to get on a 4th relic. But fighting into Castilia, fighting into a Civ that can just click Flemish Militia in the late game and destroy you once he's got 140 villagers. I think this might be an uphill battle for sure, because Daniel has that big Vill lead. Sitaux now going for a forward castle, but I think Daniel realizes what's up here. So he's going to start... Actually, what did he convert there? Castilia going to take this around here. That castle on its way, but Sitaux going to have to evacuate here. Daniel, just too much. And Sitaux hitting him, but having to cancel his castle age. Daniel going for the castle here. I think he probably could put it slightly further forward even, but it'd be very safe and nice protection of that gold mine. Sitaux putting that castle up a lot more defensively now. He was originally trying to pressure Daniel's gold mine, but now he's not going to have the opportunity to do so. In fact, he possibly could put it up here to protect his stone. But I suppose this also really guards the front of his base, and another rough trade here for Sitaux. Daniel seemingly snowballing little by little. You just get bigger and bigger. So that population lead is just slowly really amounting. It's at 50 now. So Monk Halb. I think Sitau's given up on the idea of trying to mass Eagle Warriors to fight Castilia and just deciding to use as much trash as he possibly can, while he just uses monks to, you know, convert as much of the cavalry as he can too. Daniel, obviously, to heal up his Castilia, possibly convert them back. And these guys, so far being the star of the show. Who thought these guys up, man? Who decided to put a Protoss unit in AoE 2? Like, come on, man. Conscription, so faster training Castle Age units here. This will mean you can shit out the Trebuchets and Castilia. As long as he doesn't run headlong into these halbs, I think Daniel will continue to be a real threat to Sitaux. This sort of composition, as useful as it is in the direct fight, and as disposable as it is with the trash front line, it is also less mobile. So Daniel, he's decided, oh, is he going to go for it? No, we can't quite find a way in just yet. Maybe he's going to try and take out the house? No. This has been the worst run-by in the history of run-bys. Maybe ever. Well, not quite. He didn't actually lose anything, so the worst run-bys are the ones where you do lose everything. But not really able to get any value, other than a brief garrison there. And in the meanwhile, Sitaux is pushing forward. He's still got that pair of trebs. He's got a bunch of halbs here to shepherd things. So he probably wants to get on top of them now, because it looks like the Castilia are coming in hot. And so I think Sitaux can slowly just creep his way through this game, provided Daniel sort of freezes up and doesn't add any himself. But in saying that, I do feel like a Flemish militia... Oh, there we go, Flemish Revolution. I was about to say transition to it was just about on the cards. And so GG. Sitaux tapping out there because he knows he's got just under 200 population of military to deal with now. So Daniel takes the game.